How y'all doing today? Good. So I'm going to take you through my lost childhood. Until I got saved as my testimony. Okay. When I was 3 years old, I was diagnosed with autism at 3 years old. And I was told I would never be able to walk, never be able to talk, never be able to put on a pair of pants and shirt. I'm standing, aren't I? I'm walking, aren't I? I'm talking, aren't I? Fast forward, I played football, basketball, baseball, soccer, in the neighborhood with my brother and his friends and my friends. And then when I got to middle school, I started taking basketball and cross country and track more seriously. And I was actually a better runner in high school than I was a basketball player. I was cut from my modified team. I was cut from the freshman team. Then I was cut from the JV team, and then my JV coach, Coach Amoroso, who probably the best coach I've ever had as a player, wanted me to be a part of the program. And when I got into Greece Athena in 7th grade, I walked into the gym with my teammates, and I saw up there at Greece Athena, 1992 was the last sectional championship and the last state championship. We looked up there and said we want to be the first to bring one back, and bring one back for our legendary coach Jimmy John. So my sophomore year, I was the team manager. Got put in the game at the end of the year. Got fouled on a 3 and hit 3 free throws, which a lot of people don't know. It's in the book called The Game of My Life. Okay. My sophomore year and junior year, we lost to Greece Arcadia in the semis. Devastation. Our program at Athena, before I got there as a player / manager, was always a winning program, but never could get over the hump in the postseason. And Coach was 0 for 7 in the district semis his whole career. Never been to a final in 25 years. And my sophomore and junior year, after we lost both those years, we made a pact. We're going to shoot 500 makes to 1,000 attempts every day, and we're going to lift 5 days a week. And I also ran cross country as well on a pretty good cross country team that was always a sectional contender. But anyways, my senior year, we started out, it was rough. We started out 500. There was chemistry strife. There was parent strife. There were naysayers saying that Coach Johnson should be fired. Greece Athena is not mentally tough enough to play in the Blue Cross Arena. They have the talent to get there, but will never get over the hump. And we had parents pointing the finger at our coach saying, that's why you'll never win the big one with your decision making. Okay? At Christmas time, we were playing in Fairport's tournament, and at the time they were number 2 in the state, and they were number 2 in the state in 06 the whole year. Won the first game against a not very good Lockport team by only 6. We go into shoot around against Fairport, and Coach Johnson said, and we're circled around in a circle of communication, I don't even want to go tonight. And we're like, what coach says this? That I should play tougher, play as a team, and play harder and play tougher and act as great teammates. We'll lose by 100. We did end up losing that game by only 2. But that turned our season around and won 9 of the last 10 games. Senior night came, 4 days before, I'm in the captain's meeting, and Coach gives me a uniform, and he promised back when I was cut that he would try to suit me up, but playing time was not promised. And I turned to him in front of the captain and said, I just want to win a championship more than anything in the world. We're 1 game out of first place. We're up by 20 before I get put in the game. Popsicle sticks from the 6th man up in the stands. Everyone's going nuts as I walk in the game. I stood at the scores table because I didn't even know who I was going in for. And first shot was an air ball. Ugh. Then I missed 2 layups. Then my first one with 3:12 left with a foot on the line. And everyone went nuts like I hit a buzzer beater in the national championship game. Then I hit 3 more in a row. Then missed one, I hit 3 more in a row. I hit 6 3-pointers in 4 minutes. Scored 20 points total, leading scorer of the game. And the whole school was happy for me, but they're like, the topic I'm explaining is being a team player on and off the court. I just wanted to win a championship. I went in the locker room and said, we haven't accomplished anything yet. Nothing. The game was showed on ESPN, CNN, Fox News, ABC Nightly News, CBS. It was showed in Japan, it was showed in England, it was showed in Italy, all over the place. And we go into our sectional postseason of February break. The DNC said Greece Athena ties for league title, which I was happy with, but everybody else was like, why didn't J-Mac get a big headline? And we thought that was going to be it, but when all those TV channels started coming, our whole postseason practice was like going into Super Bowl week. We had Clark Kellogg on one baseline, Stephen A. Smith on another baseline, Tom Rinaldi on another baseline. We had the media following us our whole postseason, but Coach had to kick the media out of our practice that week because it was becoming a distraction with our team. And we had to have team building sessions about it. And that whole, besides just preparing. And the pressure that we felt was a whole weight on our shoulders because we've never done it. First came back, but Charles Barkley got on the air and said, Coach, why didn't you start him the whole year? Because he's filming, he's interviewing us. And Coach had nothing to say to that. And I said, behind me is All-State, and All-State 3 guards ahead of me. Where am I going at 5'6", 90 pounds? And Charles said, you're too humble. And plus, our team would have been ineligible because I only played that one game. We win the first game by 30 over our rivals. 3 weeks later, we win our first sectional championship on a buzzer beater by Steve Kerr. Not the Golden State Warriors, my teammate Steve Kerr, who's a golf pro now. We ended up losing in the first round of states to the same team at Fairport, but after that season was a magical year. Got to meet President Bush when he came to Rochester. Got to be out at the Oprah Winfrey show. Ugh. Got to meet LeBron James when he was in Cleveland. I was at the Final Four with the Florida Gators. I got to speak to them the night before their national championship with Joe Kinoa, Corey Brewer, Lee Humphrey, Torian Green. Got to meet Big Baby Glenn Davis. Got to be a part with George Mason's run when they were the 11th seed. My first job out of high school was with Peyton Manning and Indianapolis Colts. And that is ironic because we won our first championship 6 months before I got to witness Peyton Manning winning his first championship. I got to be around Peyton, Coach Dungy, Jeff Saturday, Adam Vinatieri, Marvin Harrison, Dwight Freeney, Corey Simon. I got to be around President Donald Trump at a fundraiser in New York City back in 06 and met him at the Rally 16. And I've spoken around the country for almost 20 years. It'll be 20-year anniversary in February. I've coached for 18 years at the high school, 18 seasons at the high school level. Been a part of 11 sectional championships, 10 as a coach, 1 as a player. I was the Athena strength conditioning coach for soccer for 8 years. We won 4 sectional championships when they hadn't won anything at all. But it was talent, not just coaches that bought in. All our championship teams. Now I'm over at NAS, okay? Helping out the JVs, okay? I have a show called the J-Mac Show that covers JUCO, Division II, Division III athletes because they don't get recognized at all. Only 2.8% compete at the college level. I work at Greece Central School District as a bus attendant. I was a landscaper. I've been an umpire for baseball. I worked at Whitens for 15 years. Back then, I didn't realize that God had a plan for us, for me and my family. God used me for the last 19 years. Back in 2020, when everything was taken away, everything that I loved doing, the whole country was shut down to a pandemic. And I went to a church called Faith Bible Church. And and I met a nurse friend named Steve Durfinko. I was going there to learn about COVID and taking notes and all that. He started talking about Jesus. And this is when I was a lost Catholic. Little did I know our song leader, Tom Brado, was on the other team that night. Kind of awkward. I went to a funeral there a few years prior to that. I went to a National Day of Prayer that year, and I saw a lot of like-minded people that, when everything was going on with COVID and all the wickedness, so on May 31st, 2020, I was in pastor's office with Steve. He said, "Have you ever asked Jesus to save you?" And I said, "I've asked Jesus to save others, not me." And he goes, "Wrong answer." So I went through the process and I accepted Jesus Christ as my personal Savior back in 2020. We walk by faith, not by sight. Rejoice in evermore. Prayer without ceasing. John 14:1 says, "Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, also believe in me." What God has restored in my life, I brag about him every day, and I give him thanks every day. But the motivational messages I want to give to you today is charity. What you do for your classmate, one thing you do for your classmate today. If they drop a pencil on the floor, do you pick it up for them? If a student needs help with an assignment in class, will you help them? Or on a basketball court, will you be a positive, encouraging teammate from the bench? Or in football, when I see tonight, when someone makes a great play, I better see the whole bench rowdy. I want to hear Coach Price having to back you guys up off the sidelines because you guys are going nuts for your teammate. I want to see Coach Price light you guys up for being too close to the sideline or getting a ref giving you a sideline warning. Sorry, Coach Price. Because you guys are going nuts for your teammate. I know as long as you don't cross the line and be respectful and be positive, but I want you guys being excited for your teammates, excited for your classmates when they're successful. Or are you going to be if you see a classmate in the cafeteria sitting alone, and you're one of the popular kids in the school, you're going to bring them over to the table with you. Okay? Goals are not goals so you write them down. Write down your top 10 goals that you have for this year or in your life, and then cross them out as you keep accomplishing them. Or you can write down your goals in another way: is your biggest dreams at the top, your long-term goals, your stretch goals, and your short-term goals. And it gives you a purpose every day in your life to what you're waking up to every day. And also, life is all about hard work, being a good teammate, doing things with charity for others more than yourself, and respect authority. Thank the janitors that are cleaning up the cafeteria for your classrooms for you every day. Thank your bus driver. Thank your bus attendant. Every time you walk off the bus, say please, thank you, excuse me. I love when I come here because I hear that. New York State, we don't hear that very often. And I've learned to bring that back home. Saying please, thank you, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes coach, no coach. Do you examples, do you understand this? Do you understand what I'm saying? Your response would be yes sir or no sir, yes ma'am or no ma'am. Can you explain it again? For being a positive person at your age will bring you a long ways. Not just as an athlete, as a person. What are you selling? Because you want as many positive advocates on your side when you go to try to get into a college, or when you try to go get a job that you want after college. Your football guys, your football coach probably gets calls from employers about former East Webster Wolverines. Coach Kim probably does from employers or college coaches. I mean, our coach, Kevin Broderick, has, when he calls the principal. If the kid that we're recruiting asks if they, how many friends hang out with them in school. Are they a Debbie Downer or negative energy, or are they bringing positive energy? Are they energy givers? You're always on stage. You're always on stage. On social media, in the community, and everywhere you're going, you're always on stage. Every day. You always got to control the controllables in life. Your work ethic, your character and attitude, and your own schedule and your own business. You can't control what other people are doing. You can't control what authority's doing. Even though you best be coachable and listen to what authority says to you, and that because they've been living longer than you have, and you do it to the best of your ability. It might not be correct. People who try and fail are more superior to people who don't try at all. I mean, there's always mistakes that are going to happen. Okay, learn from them and try to do better the next time. Live present, play present. If you make a mistake out on the football field or on the court, it hurts your team when you dwell on that mistake. Like example, if you turn the ball over and you just go jogging back on defense without going back to stop ball, you hurt your team. Okay? And how you talk to people, Ephesians 4:29 says, no corrupt communication comes out thy mouth. Stay away from the wickedness like drugs, alcohol, and other things. Ephesians 5:18 says, be not drunk with wine, wherein access be fulfilled with spirit. If you don't dream it, you can't become it. The evil of excellence is good. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Success is not an accident. Success is actually a choice. Thank you very much, and God bless.